lady.
Okay, I'm Sarah.
And I'm David, and we're here to talk about Big Brother.
Big Brother. This was an exciting week. We had a
definitely
double
was.
eviction
Yes,
again.
which they didn't really see coming, I don't
Right.
think. Like,
No,
James
we
sort
really
of
were
said,
surprised.
like, I knew it, but they didn't really seem prepared for it, which was great.
Yes, for once they were caught off guard, and that was exciting to watch.
Mm-hmm.
We lost Meg.
Poor sweet Meg.
We knew that was gonna happen.
Yeah, and then Julie was like, surprise, double eviction. Well, she did that before Meg went home.
Right. So Meg goes home, and then who won?
HOH was Liz.
Liz. Oh, Liz wins.
It was the true or
HOH.
false thing, and Liz won. And wasn't it down to Liz and Julia?
Yes.
I was like, how are these
What
twins winning?
happened?
Like, I really underestimate those twins.
I guess.
I really do.
Yeah, and then Julia wins the power of veto.
Yeah.
Like, they dominated that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness it was just one day instead of a week. I can't handle that.
Oh, seriously. So Liz won HOH, and she was like, game move, sorry guys, John and James.
Which
you're
is
up on the block.
expected.
Yeah.
What's not expected, though, because if we think about it, they, for a minute there, were good friends with James and really wanted John out.
Yes.
They have actually evicted John previously.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
they don't want him there.
Yeah.
But Vanessa is so dang good that she completely convinced them that James is the threat.
Yeah.
And they had the numbers, they had both of them on the block, and at that point could have said, never mind,
Right.
we really want John
John
out.
out.
But that just proves that they're not thinking for themselves.
No.
Vanessa's thinking for everybody.
Yeah, she literally she comes up with a strategy for the entire house every single week.
Yes.
It's nuts.
And makes them think it's
It's
theirs.
their idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have no idea that she has manipulated all of them.
It's just really masterful work.
It really is.
But so she gets James out, and poor guy, like, those double evictions.
Yeah.
That's tough because they're just so not ready. Like, you could just tell. Like, obviously his stuff wasn't packed. He just seemed like a little shell-shocked when he was, like, out interviewing with Julie.
Right.
I was like, oh, man, you like, really thought you could go far in this game.
Yeah.
And then, boom, here you are sitting outside.
He was on a high. Like, he got himself off that block.
Yeah.
And then, boom, you're gone.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe it's like ripping off a Band-Aid quick. Like, at least you don't have a week of being like, I'm gone,
right.
whatever, laying in hospice, as they call it this season.
Yeah.
Bed. So, yes, we lost them.
Yes.
Johnny Mac is back safe in the house.
Oh, my God.
For whatever reason.
Top 6 now.
Yes.
Good for you, Johnny Mac. We're very happy for you.
Then they played the head of household really late that night.
Yes, and it was like a puzzle thing where they had to build people's house guests' faces and stuff, and Steve was really good at it. He had a really good strategy, you know, smart Steve.
Smart Steve.
So he was like assembling his puzzle on the ground and then putting the pieces up, and it was just a very good strategy. But Johnny Mac could have won it.
Well, he could have
Johnny
won
Mac
it.
threw it.
But they had discussed previously, if this is not a physical comp, the next one might be.
Oh, yes.
So if this is one that Steve can win, let's save John for the physical one next week. So once they realized, okay, Steve can win this, Julia was knocked out, then John knew he could throw it and be able to play next week's head of household.
I'm just not convinced that Johnny Mac can win a physical HOH. Like, he's never won an HOH period all season.
No.
So I kind of don't...
But he has won some of the more physical...
He won vetoes and stuff that were physical, but I don't know. Everyone's always like, oh, I gotta win next week. It's like, well, it's not a foregone conclusion that you're gonna win, so maybe you should just take it here. But, I mean, Johnny knew that he was safe, so...
John knew he was safe, and Steve can't play next week. Like, whoever it is, you can't play. So you kind of have to plan ahead, but yeah, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Because someone else could win.
Yes. So Steve's HOH, and he...
Oh, wait, we should also note that Vanessa did her darndest to try to get Austin to throw it.
Yes.
I mean, that also
and she
was
almost
part of
had
it.
him.
Almost, but I mean, like, it's hard to convince someone not to
compete.
Win.
Right.
Okay, yeah.
So, Steve's HOH, and then initially he's like, twins, you're going up.
This is his first one, like, for a week. Because he only won.
Yes, because he only won that first double eviction HOH. But now I like how he's like, now's the time. Like, I'm not going to win Big Brother if I don't win these HOHs, if I don't get a little bit of blood on my hands. Like, now's the time when I'm going to start winning stuff. I'm like, good for you, Steve.
Which makes me think that maybe this really was his strategy.
Yeah.
I kind of do think he played up the nerdy, awkward thing in the beginning of like, I don't know what I'm doing. What do you think? Oh, I can't play these competitions.
Yes.
And now all of a sudden he can win.
Right.
I think now I'm seeing that this was actually a strategy.
Definitely. I think you're right. He just wanted to lie low and,
Which
not
so
make any
smart.
enemies. Yeah.
It's so
Everybody
smart.
loves him in that house.
Yeah.
Everybody loves him.
Well, the girls go back and forth. The twins. Sometimes they hate him. Sometimes blah, blah. I can't keep up. I don't know.
Yeah. So his initial strategy is like, I'm going to put the twins up. And I loved that moment when he's talking into the camera and he's like, twins, you just made the biggest mistake of the game by sending James home and keeping John.
Seriously.
You're going up. You guys are idiots. You guys are idiots. I was like, whoa, Steve.
I mean,
Another
it really
side of
wasn't
him.
a bad move. And he's one of the few people in the house who can see like good moves and bad moves.
Right, yeah.
And but they believed Vanessa and they went with it.
Yeah. So initially he's going to put the twins up,
Yes.
right? But then good old Vanessa's
Vanessa's like,
tearing
let me
through.
tell you why that's a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But she had a very, very good point.
She did.
If he had just put the twins up, Austin could easily win Power of Veto, take Liz off, and then you can't put Austin in that place. Like, now you've kept those two strong players and a showman.
Yeah, right.
And the only people left to go on the block is Vanessa and Johnny Mac, who you don't want to send home.
Yeah.
So it was a very valid point. It made sense to him. He ran it by Johnny Mac, and they were like, yep. Johnny Mac and Steve are like, you know what, actually, even though Liz is a threat, Austin's a bigger threat.
Yeah.
And John made a very good point about how close Austin and Vanessa are.
Yep. And how they sort of decided, like, we need to get Austin out because it's very likely that Vanessa would team up with Austin.
Yes.
Like, further down the game.
Nobody's
rather than Steve or John.
Yes, I'm very impressed that they figured that out because, I mean, we can see that from home, but nobody has figured out that Vanessa and Julia are really close.
Yes.
Like, honestly, the only person besides Liz that Julia will talk to and believe is Vanessa.
Yeah.
And Julia is the perfect person to take to Final Two.
Perfect.
I think that that's why she wanted to get rid of Meg. Like, she put up 2 floaters on her HOH, which seems like a waste of an HOH, but when you really want that one floater who's aligned with you, get the other one out. That actually does make sense.
Yeah. So then Steve holds the nomination ceremony, and but he also, once the strategy changed, he was like, I owe it to Austin. I've been working with him so closely this entire game. Like, I need to tell him beforehand. And there was that hilarious, like, scene of him just sort of, like, lurking around Austin's bed, like, while he's asleep and, like, picking up coasters and putting them down, like, trying to wake Austin up. But then he, like, sits Austin down and basically tells him, like, I'm going to put you up next to Liz.
Yeah. And he also gave Liz a heads up, too. So they both were aware. He gave them the unofficial heads up because they're not allowed to actually say. But it is the polite thing to do, even though I do love a good blindside.
Me too.
I mean, that's fun for all of us.
Yeah.
But they edited it to make it look like a blindside.
Yes.
Liz gets up and walks away.
Yes,
but it
cries.
was really just because she didn't want to cry on TV. Whatever.
And Steve's speech was very sweet. And talking about how they had such great times playing chess. So that was very touching.
So the twins hate Steve, and even though they're, playing like they don't, but again, this is to Vanessa's credit, this is 100% Vanessa's plan.
Yes.
Steve's walking around like, I'm making BB history, like he's Cam talking to the feedsters and like, I made a big move, ha ha ha.
Yeah.
No, like once you watch these episodes back, guys, they're all gonna see that Vanessa was completely in control of this.
Up the whole time.
And the house doesn't know it, so they're not gonna hold this against Vanessa.
Yeah.
They could conceivably hold this against Steve for the rest of the game.
Yep. Time for spoilers.
Spoilers! So we've got a very upset Liz and Austin. Although Austin's fairly comfortable because he doesn't think he's the target.
Even though he is the target.
Even though he is the target.
Yeah.
But Austin wins Power of Veto.
Which I just hate. Because I wanted him out so badly.
I, of course, hate this too, but it's hilarious and it made for great drama because when you win the Power of Veto and your girlfriend is the other person on the block, you're kind of sealing their fate. And you're like,
And he's like showboating around like, woo! I want the power of veto.
The feeds that day were so amazing. Like, you could not turn away. It was so much drama. Liz could not stop crying, and Austin could not stop wearing that veto around the house, being like, that was great TV. Oh my God,
yeah.
I'm so amazing. They had Mr. Pectacular, Jesse, who is a wrestler and former BB house guest. So it just like added this layer of fuel to the whole situation that made Austin not considering anyone else in the house, and he just it was so insane. Liz broke up with him. Spoiler, they're back together. But I can't wait to see how they edit that together for Wednesday, because that was some straight drama. And of course, Vanessa got herself involved as well.
Oh, she worked herself up into a frenzy.
God forbid she not be in the center of everything.
Right.
But once everything's, you know, smoothed out, she still looks sitting pretty. She's, you know, the best friend with the girls, the twins. She loves them all. Austin does take himself off the block.
And then Steve puts up Julia.
So the twins are together on the block right now. And Vanessa says, I'm just gonna let you tell me how you want me to vote.
Right.
You decide who we should evict.
You would think, like, I would think that Vanessa would come in there with some kind of strategy to put it in their heads somehow that Liz is the one who should go. Because she wants to keep Julia around and take Julia to final two.
She did. She said, it's your decision, it's your decision. But Liz is still going to be a target. She could go out next week. But Julia, she's not a threat. So she has a really good chance of winning the second place $50K. So when you put it that way, then it kind of makes them go, oh yeah, maybe we should decide to keep Julia. God, Vanessa.
I'm sure it's all going to work out perfectly according to Vanessa's plan.
If Austin thinks that he's going to final two with Vanessa and that he could win, he's an idiot. He's delusional. I think Steve and John realize they have to get Vanessa out for them to win.
Yes.
But
do you think John and Steve are final two together?
I think that's what they want.
Yeah. Because Steve used to have a final two deal with Vanessa, right? But now
I think they still have that deal, but I think that Steve knows. He actually has been mumbling this weekend on the feeds that Vanessa, he keeps saying things like, Vanessa, you're up to something. What are you up to? Vanessa, you're being shady.
Oh, really?
So, again, he kind of mumbles things, and like he used to mumble, Becky, I want you out, and then he didn't evict Becky. So you don't always know what the heck he's talking about. But like, I do think he's onto her, and John is definitely onto her. He's just going to use her.
Oh, yeah. As long as he can. Which was smart. Because now John's in the top 5.
Yeah, but you know what, guys? This is really an exciting final. Because sometimes when it gets this small of a group, it's boring because you just know who's going to go. Win.
But I could see it going a lot of ways with this group.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, whoever wins head of household, it really changes everything.
It changes everything. Totally.
So I have to imagine Liz will go home this week, but we don't know. There's a possibility it could be Julia. And then what if Austin wins head of household? Probably Johnny Mac's going home. But what if Johnny Mac wins head of household?
Yeah, right. Probably.
Then maybe Austin's going home. Unless they think that this is the time to pull the trigger on Vanessa. Like, when do you pull the trigger on Vanessa?
Yeah. I almost think like Vanessa needs to win next week head of household. I don't know. It just really depends.
If she feels comfortable, which honestly, at this point she is. Then she won't want to win. She doesn't want to make these moves herself.
Right.
But yeah, at some point she's gonna have to be a threat, or she's gonna have to be in jeopardy, and she's gonna realize that. Because she is paranoid. If anything, she's paranoid.
Yes.
So she'll realize when it's her time to go, and then she'll stop that. She'll put a kibosh on that.
That's right.
Oh my God! Honestly, I'm so excited to see how this all unravels.
Yes.
What do you guys think?
Yeah.
Who's going home? Who's gonna win? Who's gonna win it all? What's happening? Is Julia set as a second place?
Oh my God, she might be. Maybe Julia is like a lock on second place because everyone's like, I'm taking that floater with me.
Except Steve and John. I think they legitimately will take each other.
Yeah.
What if?
And then I don't know who's gonna win between the two of them.
I think John has a good story because in the final two, his speech, he's gonna be like, guess what, guys? I'm actually a super fan, and here was my strategy. Right. So that is kind of something to bring to the table. You're like, oh, I didn't realize. But I think Steve's also going to be like, here's what I did, and I'm smart, and I'm a super fan, so I don't know. I'd be torn on who to vote.
Yeah.
If it's Vanessa and Austin, though, as final two.
Vanessa.
You kind of have to give it to Vanessa,
You have
right?
to give it to Vanessa.
What if it's Vanessa
so much
and Steve?
strategy. That would be an interesting one.
That would be because
I think Steve is a strong enough player.
Yeah.
And people really hate Vanessa. Like,
right. A lot of people.
She got everyone in the jury house evicted.
Right.
So.
She did, but then, you know, a lot of time, unless they really are bitter about it,
they'll
still be like,
yeah.
God, I have to respect your game. You should win.
Right.
Unless someone, like, unless it's Steve, who still had a decent game, but didn't, like, screw everybody over.
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'm excited to see how all of this ends.
Me too.
What?
Ah.
All right, guys. We'll be back next week with a more blah, 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 talk, big brother, big brother. That's it.
See you then.
Bye.